Hey guys, Adam here. I missed last week for a bunch of different reasons, but I'm going to try to get that made up at some point. I'm not sure when because my school year starts next week and I don't actually have a lot of say on the matter, but I will try to get that done at some point. Anyways, this week's topic is religion, and um, I'm actually not a very religious person, but I do have some things to say on the matter. Um, and I guess I should put a disclaimer that anything I say in this video is probably not research. I mean, like, I've done research in the past, but it's not like I have a computer up in front of me, doing research, and so I might have some facts wrong or something. I don't know. But background, I wasn't really raised religiously. My dad's family is like very, very southern, like North Carolinian, huge family sort of thing. So my grandparents are really, really, I don't want to say really religious, but they're like the kind of people who go to church every Sunday and, go, oh, Jesus, and like have stuff like crosses up on their wall and stuff. Um, but my family was never really religious growing up. We went to a Unitarian church when I was younger, which was really cool. It was a very accepting place, and I think that might have actually been my first exposure to like LGBT stuff, because I remember there's a pastor at our Unitarian church who I think may actually be transgender. She might it might only be a lesbian woman, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. One of those two. Um, and uh, it was like a very accepting religious kind of setting to introduce my like young child to religion in general. And even though my parents weren't heavily religious, um, we were very good friends growing up with a Jewish family. So even though I'm not Jewish and I have no Jewish background, like in my family or in either of my parents' family, we celebrated like Hanukkah and stuff growing up. Um, and I've gone to temple several times, even though, yeah. But that being said, I'm not really involved in religious stuff now. Like, I'm not a very religious person. Not to say I'm atheist, but I guess I'm agnostic. I'm not sure what the word is, but um, I'm not really involved in any kind of religious stuff, so there's not really any intersection between my gender identity happening with religious stuff. But I'm very interested in I'm very interested in that intersection, because even though Christianity is kind of the dominant religion in North America, there's a lot of religions in like, and again, I might be like saying wrong facts here, but I'm pretty sure there's several religions in like uh, India and like the Asian subcontinent that don't like outrightly support LGBT stuff, but they have like myths and legends that kind of like offhandly like have gods who switch genders or like things like that. And I think that's really interesting because uh, a lot of the uprising of Christianity in Europe and North America kind of coincided with like the downfall of like LGBT stuff. Is that kind of sounds almost silly, but like if you look back in history, you see the Romans, who people don't really think of as religious because nowadays it's like, oh, it's pagan religion, whatever. But they were very it was a very religious culture, and homosexuality, at least between men, it wasn't forbidden. It was even embraced at some points, um, and there was a very, I don't want to say very involved connection between the two, but it was a very peaceful connection. And you kind of don't see that nowadays. You kind of like, there's kind of like an almost assumed, it's almost assumed you can't be LGBT and have a spiritual connection or have a religious connection. Which doesn't say there aren't people out there that disprove that. I mean, you can go on like documentaries and in the internet and see like gay ministers and transgender ministers and all sorts of stuff like that. But it's kind of like a common belief that, and maybe it's because there's a very heavy like Democrat, like liberal populace in LGBT communities, and that people tend to believe that Democrats and liberal people are atheist or agnostic or not really spiritual. But there's a big intercross in there, and I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. Like, I wouldn't say I'm spiritual, but I think spiritual beliefs are very interesting. And I'm surprised there hasn't been more exploration with gender identity and spiritual beliefs. Um, Not so much because, like, I feel like people should have, like, a spiritual thing in their life, because I think it's totally okay if people are, if someone's atheist and doesn't want that connection in their life or doesn't believe in it, because that's kind of how I am. But I feel like there's a lot of possibilities there that are being lost, and maybe it'll kind of bloom up in the future, and there'll be like whole sects of Christianity that are completely LGBT based or something like that. But like I would be really interested in seeing how more members, especially transgender members, because gender is such deeply ingrained in a lot of religious beliefs, how that's involved. And I guess I'm trying to say that I would be interested in seeing everyone else's videos about this. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say, but I do think it's really interesting, and I feel like there's a lot lost with that assumption that people who are in LGBT or transgender people can't have that. Yeah, I guess that's it. um, I think I had something else to say, but I forgot to write down little notes about what I wanted to say this time. So I guess I'm going to end my video. I'm really interested to see how, or not how, but what other people have to say on the matter. I promise I'll have my video up next week. I'm not sure if I'll, like, I feel bad saying this, but I'm not sure if I'll get the jobs video up at any point, because I don't have a job, and I haven't had a job since I came out, so I don't really have anything to say on the matter. Anyways, that's all for this week. See you guys next week, I guess.